So, we're going to be starting off with our clarinet lesson for today, and this is Mary. Mary originally played flute, so she's really excited to learn about clarinet, right, Mary?
As much as I could be.
All right, so Mary, to start off, I'm going to ask you, since our cases are already on the ground, to open up the latches to your case. Now, just to make sure that when you open them, they point straight up. So, do they do that?
Sort of.
Yeah, you got some weird latches, but yeah, those should work. Yeah, there we go. So, right down here, we have all the parts to our clarinet. So just to point some things out, this one right here, this is the bell. And then we have the lower joint, the upper joint, the barrel.
That's what that is.
Yeah, right? I didn't know what that was really either. There's a lot of parts. And then this is your mouthpiece cap. So it protects it. And then you have your ligature here, which you use to tighten on your reed. And then this is your mouthpiece. So, you'll also see that we have some cork and stuff on here as well. When you go to put your instrument together and let's say it starts coming on kind of tight, because usually it should just screw on pretty nice, we have cork grease. I think you have some in here. If you don't, I'll share with you.
I know it looks like a tube of chapstick.
I know. Yeah, don't put that on your lips.
I had friends that did that.
Yeah, but then you just, lightly spread it all across the cork and that should go on pretty easy. But otherwise, oh, and then we also have our cloth swab. This will come in handy after we are done with our lesson today. So we would just run this through in likewise fashion like this through our instruments after we're done playing with them, through everything, just to make sure we get all the moisture out of it. Especially whether these are plastic or whether they're wood, like this one's wood, I need to especially do it. So, but yeah, no moisture in your instrument. Not good for your instrument. But now I am going to ask you to grab your reed that's in your case. I'm gonna ask you to put it right in your mouth.
Gross.
Yep, you're gonna sit here and wet it. You're gonna wet both sides too, so maybe spend just a little bit of time just rotating it back and forth so then you get the whole reed moist. I apologize for that word if you don't like that word. So while we're doing this, I'm gonna ask you to grab your mouthpiece. And this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna ask you to take your ligature off. So if it's loose or if it's tight, I'm gonna make sure that it's easy to come off like this. And then you're gonna see that there's a flat end to the reed. You're gonna wanna put that up against the flat part of the mouthpiece, like this. And then in order to get the best sound out of it, you're gonna wanna put the reed just slightly under the tip of the mouthpiece right here, so like so. And then once we do that,
Does that look okay?
yep. And if we have any issues, we can always go back and adjust too. But then this is kind of a difficult part, so you're gonna put your ligature back on. And you're gonna try and, so you see like there's also a line right here too.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna wanna make sure the ligature comes down to at least that line. And then from there you would tighten the ligature onto the mouthpiece. You always start out with the bottom one, make sure that one's tight. And then the top one's a little different, so you're gonna tighten it all the way, and then you're going to loosen it a bit, so then you'll allow the reed to vibrate. So mine's tight like this, and then you're just going to just untighten it a little bit so then it can vibrate. All right, so now that we have that all set up, I'm then gonna ask you to put this back in your case like this with the reed facing up, so then it doesn't get destroyed from the other stuff on the case. So then I'm gonna ask you to grab your bell and your lower joint, which is the one right above. So this one, yeah. So, we're just going to lightly twist it on like this, back and forth slowly until you can get the whole thing on. And if it's hard and you need some cork grease, just let me know and I can get you some. I think I actually need some.
It's a little stiff, but it's not too bad.
Cork grease is my best friend. Oh, that came on really nice. All right, so once you get it on completely, I'll then ask you to grab the upper joint. And with the upper joint, we have to be especially careful when putting it onto the lower joint because we could bend some keys. So what we are going to do is you're going to hold down the bottom two keys on the upper joint when we put it in, because then we will make sure that these keys here won't get bent in the process. So
Yeah, no, that one's not going on. I need a cork grease.
oh, here you go. Cork grease for you. This one's actually going on a lot better than I thought it was, because usually this is the part of this process that takes me a while. All right.
So I push down these ones?
Yep, you'll push down these bottom two.
Oh, which way is it? I don't know what way it goes.
I think it's this way. Yeah, it's this way. Nope, I said the wrong way. It is this way.
Okay. I
Because
don't even know.
yeah, there's a lot of keys. I've even realized that too. Like from flute to clarinet, it's really different.
No kidding. There's more parts and I don't like it.
Yeah, we just have the head joint, the body, and the foot.
Which is
There's several
pretty
extra
great,
chords. Yeah. And then from here, we're gonna grab the barrel, and we are going to have, if it has like a logo on
mine
it at
does
all.
not at all.
All right, then I was
Does
gonna
it
say
piece
usually.
down?
Yep. So then you just lightly twist it.
Nope.
More
This
cork
one's
grease.
really dry.
Oh, darn cork grease.
It's like they're so dried out, like it's like white.
Oof.
I'm gonna hope that I can get moisture into this.
It also just probably has been because it hasn't been used in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So like I can understand that especially. And then from here, oh actually I skipped a part. So I'm gonna put this back down. So we're gonna take the barrel off because it's easier to put the barrel and the mouthpiece on first together, because otherwise you can actually damage the mouthpiece in the process if you were to try and put it on top of the barrel. So again, you're just gonna lightly twist it on. And then we'll grab our clarinets again, and then we'll put them back on. So then this should be your end process, your product, I should say actually, of how to set up a clarinet. What are your thoughts?
More difficult than I thought it was going to be.
And then for hand placement, so your left hand, it's going to go thumb, 1, 2, 3, and then your pinky just kind of hovers up here, like it doesn't go on any of the keys yet. And then your right hand is going to go thumb under the thumb holder, pointer, middle, ring, and then pinky again kind of hovers.
Oh my gosh. That's such a weird feeling.
Yep, it's really different compared to flute. But at the same time, you can also kind of feel it is almost like flute.
It's just lower.
Yep, it's just lower. So, and then when it comes to posture, you sit upright, tall in your chair, and then the thing is to bring your clarinet to your mouth, not your mouth to the clarinet, because otherwise that causes really bad posture issues and intonation issues and breathing issues. So like I actually had issues with this, so I would go, don't do that. Bring it to you. And you kind of want it somewhere you don't want it to be more than like 45 degrees, but kind of like 35 to 25, somewhere in there, maybe 15. But just somewhat of a slant down towards the floor, in other words. So, it should be playing position. But otherwise, how to form the embouchure. Now this is always the fun part, or at least I think it is, because this is when you can finally make a sound and you get really excited. So you're going to stretch your bottom lip across your teeth like this, and then you're going to slide the reed across your lower lip so that the mouthpiece is behind your top teeth. And then you're going to seal your lips around the mouthpiece, and then you're going to blow. It's been a while. I think it's a little too tight. We're gonna get it. How about you give it a shot?
Nope.
Come on,
I
friend.
don't know if it's too loose or too tight or what the heck. Oh.
So what you might want to do, most of the pressure is going to go into your top teeth. You want this to actually be kind of relaxed and not like you're pinching the reed. So that might also be another thing. I just realized that's another thing that I used to do. So. And then you might also need to take a little bit more of the reed in sometimes. So like, bring it a little farther in. And you're probably going to want to use a little bit more faster air too.
I'm so used to flute where I can just blow into it. It's totally fine.
Well, the thing is with the flute, which was the hard thing for me to get used to, is we create our own resistance, whereas the reed does it for us. So we create the own resistance in our abs and in our lips, since we don't have any. So that's one of the hard things about learning reed instruments, is for flutes to get used to not having to create their own. It's letting something else do it. So yeah, so just, and you might even need to tighten the corners of your lips here.
Oh, it's gonna feel weird.
I know. You're getting a sound. You're getting somewhere. Try and think more downward with your air. So, oh, see, I even squeaked there.
That's literally not gonna happen, I swear. That's all I got.
All right. We're gonna help you get it. I know we can. So, So kind of put it on the bottom of the reed on your lower lip, and then just kind of let it go in. And then make sure to rest your top teeth on the top of the reed.
That's all I got.
You want to try on mine if you're okay with that?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck. I
I'm gonna
squeak.
try yours quick.
It squeaks. Yeah, I just can't. Nope, I can't get a sound out of that at all.
Okay. Okay, so it is working. Let's just see.
Help me.
I am trying.
Am I just taking too much of it into my mouth? I don't know.
Show me as if you were gonna play. I think that might be a little too much. So, if anything, like the farthest you should go is about here. So, like,
So just a teeny tiny itty bitty bit.
if anything, yeah.
Yay!
High five.
Okay, so
All
I
right.
just had too much reed in my mouth.
Yep, just too much reed. All right. So the first note we're gonna learn.
It's weird.
I know. And the challenge is too is you have to hover a lot more than you do on the flute, especially if it has close to. There you
Oh, I
go.
don't like it. It feels bad.
You'll get used to it.
It feels so bad.
It's gonna be good. You're doing great. So the first note we're actually gonna learn is E. So E on your left hand is thumb and 1, and then your right hand is just your thumb on the thumb key.
Okay.
So it's gonna sound like this. Gotta relax. Playing flute today, and it's really hard for me to relax on flute.
I don't blame you.
So that's what your E is gonna sound like.
I can't let it buzz. It feels weird.
You're doing good. You got the sound out.
I need to tighten my corners. I think that's what's wrong. Because it feels weird.
Yep, it does feel weird at first, but then you slowly get used to it.
Yeah, I'm letting air out of my corners.
So then that would be your E. And then your D is going to be thumb 1 and 2. So you're just adding that second. So. Yeah. It's a little airy, but you're actually getting the tone to come out. Try playing fast, but not tightening. There you go. It's getting louder and it's getting more clear. So another thing is too, you'll probably feel yourself using a little bit more air than you're used to, but that's also just because you're just unfamiliar. So we have E, and then we have D, and then our next note is going to be C, so it's going to be thumb 1, 2, 3, thumb. So. My reed's getting dry.
I feel like I'm pushing too much air.
If anything, try and think warm air. A little too much and too much mouthpiece.
feels so weird.
Also, make sure that you're covering all your holes too, because that could also be another thing why you're not getting anything out.
I need better posture.
There you go!
I can't do it. It's the resistance piece. I can feel it in my stomach.
And then I'm also seeing your lip kind of starting to pucker out occasionally. I also had issues with that, so that's just something to kind of focus on, is just keeping it back.
Tucked.
Keeping it tucked.
Okay.
So, now that we have our notes, I actually wanted to have us look at number 2 here. Mary had a little lamb. Mary, did you ever have a little lamb?
Do you want the answer to give everybody else, or do you just want the straight answer?
I know you have a lot of pets.
I had a little white dog that used to follow me around, but that was the closest I got.
That's good. So we're just gonna take this into chunks. So how about we break it up into 2 measures a piece, and then we'll just practice it from there until we're comfortable. So gonna go. Oh, I went 3 measures.
That's fine. I can read music. We can go as far as we want. I know the fingerings, and then I can read the music. It shouldn't be bad.
Okay. Do you want to do 2 measures, or do you want to do 4?
I can do 4. That
Want to do
shouldn't
4?
be bad.
Okay, so then it's gonna go. So since we're just starting off on this instrument, how about we go da 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 da. Is that a good tempo? All right, I'll give you 4 counts in.
Let's see if I can even make a sound.
Okay. Do you want to try?
It's just hard to get a sound out of it still.
It's because that lip keeps puckering.
It's just not working.
I believe in you.
Is it too low?
If you wanted, here, let me see. It actually looks like it did move a little bit when we put the ligature on. I can move it quick. See, this is always the fun part when you put the ligature on and then you sit here and you have to readjust.
Yeah, let's see if that helps because it feels really weird.
Okay, give it a shot. Mm-hmm. It's coming out a lot clearer, isn't it?
That's better.
All right. Ready to try?
Sure.
All right. I'll give you 4 beats and then you're in. 1, 2, ready, go. That was pretty good. Sure, a few notes didn't sound, but you still followed along with the music.
I tried.
You're doing good. You're doing really, really good. How about let's try that one more time, and then we'll learn the second half of the song. So, 1, 2, ready, go. That was good. Came out a lot better this time. It's quiet, but every note came out. We still followed along. We're doing
Yay.
great. It's going amazing. So, and then the second part goes. Have any questions about that? No? Just want to give it a shot? Alright.
Do you want me to just do the second half?
Yep, just the second half.
Okay.
Because then we'll go over that and then we'll do it all together.
Okay.
So, 1, 2, ready, go. Again, you're following along. It's taking a little bit for the notes to get out, but I can hear them.
Yay.
They're getting good. You're getting
I'm
good.
trying.
We'll do it one more time and then we'll try the whole thing together.
Okay.
All right? You can do this, Mary. You are a rock star. You're catching on so quick.
I'm trying.
You're doing great. All right. 1, 2, ready, go. There you go. Another high five. All right, you ready to try this whole thing?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. We'll have you try it and then we'll play together. How does
Okay.
that sound? 1, 2, ready, go. Look at that! We played a song! We
Yay.
played a song! Alright. Let's play together just for funsies. And then
Great. Let's see if I can make a louder noise.
Alright. 1, 2, ready, go.
Hey, that sounded clearer that time.
Yeah! High five.
I think it was mainly because of my posture.
Yep, and then again, it's the mouth embouchure too is something different, especially comparing it to flute. Otherwise, that is the end of our lesson today. If we want to continue, I will have you continue to look over Mary Had a Little Lamb. And then also before we practice again, I'll have you look over Numbers 3 as well. And then in our next lesson, we'll go over that and start learning some more notes and even some more songs out of the book.
Great.
But otherwise, you did great. Thank you.